any major city in America, and you will see examples of African architecture. I flew in from Atlanta. There's the Tekken, there's step pyramids. Raise your hand if you have seen architecture like this before. Even in this area, right? All right? Hands down. That's why I told you at the beginning, sharpen your eye and tune your ear, so you know what you see and understand what you hear. So then which one came first? The Tekken or the Washington Monument?
Second.
Give yourselves a round of applause. All right. Now, going deeper now. Hold on.
This is like 4 layers deep.
Come on. We got a few minutes. Somebody say, show me money.
Show me money.
Say
Show me money.
what do you see on the back of the dollar bill that is African and not American? Call out your hands. Just the pyramid? Right.
That's our eye.
Okay, most people get that. But let me show you what most people miss. Let me show you what most people miss. The American eagle comes from the emblem of Peru. Also coming out. Ashe? All right, listen. I'm going to count down from 5. When I get to 1, I want you to stand up straight, strong, tall, and silent. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Repeat after me, please. Love and light.
Love and light.
Truth and transformation.
Truth and transformation.
Healing and harmony.
Healing and harmony.
Across the nation.
Across the nation.
Compassion and conviction.
Compassion, conviction.
Are the tools for the mission.
Are the truth of our mission.
Our eyes.
Our minds.
See with inner vision.
See with their vision.
Peace and blessing.
Peace and blessing.
Beyond to humanity.
Beyond the humanity.
Change begins within.
Change begins within.
Change begins with me.
Change begins with me.
I want you to put your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Stretch it out. I want you to stretch over to your left. Everybody say, hey. Hey. Over to your right. Everybody say, hey. Back over to your left. Hey. Hey. Back over to your right. Oh. And left. Shake your hands out. Shake your hands out.
I can't see what you mean.
All right, you ain't been seeing it quickly. I only have a few minutes left. I'm going to go quickly. Ashe? But before I continue, just raise your hand if you're learning something. Let me just see a show of hands. Keep your hand up, look around the room, all right? All right, hands down. If y'all ready to finish this out, everybody say, let's get it.
Let's get it.
If I was to send you to the library to do research for me on ancient Kemet, these are the types of books that we see. Raise your hand if you've ever seen images like this in books or on TV about ancient Kemet. All right, hands down. We are scholars and researchers. What are we?
Scholars and researchers, Martin.
So since we're scholars and researchers, let's be very clear. The Greeks didn't invade Kemet until 332 BC. That was over 1,000 years after the Great Pyramid building period, the temple building period, the Great Writing period. All of that had been done for a long time before they came on the scene. But when they came on the scene, they loved the culture so much that they began to dress like us. Ashe? And imitate the culture. So then we get images like this. Look at what National Geographic has done. This is why reading is fundamental and why you must be a critical thinker. Ashe? Look at the title, the cover title. The New Face of King Tut. That's got to be the new face because it can't be the old one, right? Can't be the original one. And how do we know that? Because the original name of Egypt is Kemet. And Kemet means? Yes, so watch this now. Let's put it on a timeline. King Tut ruled in 1332 BC. The Greeks didn't come till 1,000 years later. So I ask a very simple question. Would the real King Tut please stand up? And the reason I ask that is because I can take you to the Cairo Museum and show you this jet black statue that they will not show you on the History Channel, that they will not show you in National Geographic. Ashe? The question that you have to ask yourself is that why are there some who have taken your history and culture and replaced it with images of you as pimps, players, criminals, and thugs? Ashe? Now, if that's not clear, that's his mama. So if mama looks like this, Queen T, and if daddy is Amenhotep III, that's the brother that looked like Adrian Peterson, right? Yep. Then we know that the son could not look like what was on the cover of National Geographic. Ashe? You would be amazed. You would be amazed at the great lengths people will go to make sure that you don't know who you are. And so one of my teachers, Dr. Asa Hilliard, back in the early 1990s, was receiving national and international attention for bringing this information to the public and into the schools. And so there were some people who were writing negative articles about him. And they said, Dr. Hilliard and these black scholars are making up stories about history to make black children feel good. And so finally, after being written about in Time magazine, Newsweek magazine, U.S. News and World Report, and all these different places, he decided to write back. And in his writing, he said, we are not making up stories to make black children feel good. We're putting back in the missing pages of history. And he included this picture of Queen T to make his point. Do you think the New York Times published his article? Yes or no? No. That's what I thought. But guess what? The New York Times did publish his article. Problem is, they put this picture with it to make it look like he didn't know what he was talking about. Ashe? This is a 10,000-year timeline, brothers and sisters. Now, I know you can't see everything on here, including the writing. But I want you to know on this timeline is all sorts of incredible things that we did. We had medical textbooks where we documented the fact we were doing brain surgery successfully thousands of years ago. Ashe? All sorts of incredible things. Ancient African shipbuilding, ancient sacred texts, all sorts of incredible things. It was thousands of years later that other great philosophers like Aristotle and Socrates and Plato came along. And then your Chinese philosophers like Lao Tzu and people like the Buddha and Confucius. All of these are wonderful people. I just need for you to understand they came thousands of years after your ancestors did all of this. Ashe? So brothers and sisters, let me begin to close with some of my most important pictures because this year, this is a picture of me and my queen. This year we celebrate our 20-year wedding anniversary. Please give us a round of applause.
I'm keeping this now.
We've been blessed with two wonderful sons. This is Jabari and
That shit was like,
Jabari is in 8th grade, about to go to high school, and Mari is in 5th grade, about to go to middle school.
Which one?
Take a look at our wedding cake. It's in the shape of a...
You have the one with the J.
Got this.
And the reason for that is because we wanted our relationship to be a reflection of the greatness of our ancestors. Ashe? So family comes first in everything that we do. As a matter of fact, Jabari has begun carrying on the legacy because he has a book out. It's called Sanko for Kemet, My First Trip to the Motherland. Is 11 years old too young to be an author? No. Right. If you got something to say, no matter how young you are. Ashe? And so he has already lectured with me at Morehouse College. They have invited him to present at Howard University. They're just waiting on a date. Excellence knows no age limit. Ashe? Brothers and sisters, remember, this is just one brief presentation of a much longer and larger set of information. Black people led the world in scientific innovation, literary production, and wealth creation. And so as I begin to close, brothers and sisters, we were also in Europe and brought Europe out of the Dark Ages through our science and our technology.
The Dark Ages.
But brothers and sisters, I have a question to ask you, and it was the very first question that I asked you at the very beginning of my presentation. I want to ask, how did powerful and proud Africans go from this to this? And then, how in the world did we go from this to this?
Whoa! I'm hoodies. Wow.
Utiba. 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 But I didn't know I was scared straight.
I only got 1 minute. Stay with me. Stay with me. Brothers and sisters, we gotta answer this question. See, if you don't know your history, you'll end up trying to buy these. They'll have you purchase your chains and your shackles. Did you know Adidas tried to put these out? They're called shackles.
That's what they wear in jail.
But when you know your history, hold on. When you know your history, you won't pay $200 to be insulted and be walking around with shackles on your ankles because you know what your ancestors went through. Ashe? We took this brother on an Underground Railroad field trip all the way up to Canada so he could hold the chains and shackles that his ancestors wore. So that when people come out with this mess, we won't fall for the opium. Ashe? So brothers and sisters, my original question, what does it mean to be black? Does it mean ignorant, uneducated, and disrespectful?
No!
Wait. What about violent, criminal, deadbeat dads and welfare mothers?
He said welfare mothers.
What about this one right here? Let's read C. Let's read C together. 1, 2, 3, read.
Outstanding, intelligent, respectful, and successful leader of my nigga.
So brothers and sisters, as I close, we are not pimps, slayers, criminals, and thugs. Let's read who we are. 1, 2, 3, read. I leave you with these powerful words from Fannie Lou Hamer, who said, never forget where you came from, and always praise the bridges that carried you over. And when we do that, we will understand why James Baldwin said, our crowns have been bought and paid for. All we have to do is put them on our hands. Thank you, and God bless.